Kathy Yanka here. I'm a Texas teacher, and if you are too, surely you have heard of STAAR. At the time of filming this video, it is spring of 2022, and we've just begun to use a new app to administer the online STAAR. What I'm looking at are the potential question types that will start to appear on student STAAR tests in the spring of 2023. In this video, I want to feature a question type that might be on next year's STAAR test for our math students across the state of Texas. And I'd also like to feature a tool that can help you use assessments in your classroom that include questions similar to what might be on the state test. So students have had lots of experience answering questions in this manner. For example, here is a problem that could be on a Math 8 STAAR in the future. Students are given a description of a linear function and they're asked to translate and then graph it like this. So once students establish the slope and y-intercept, they can go ahead and click on 2 points and the graph of the line appears. Here is a sample potential question on an Algebra 1 end of course. This one's a little more complicated. Students are asked to graph a system of linear inequalities. The testing platform has them choosing the type of line for each inequality, as well as establishing the slope and y-intercept and shading the solution region. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. The platform is asking students to juggle all the different details that they would have to do if they were graphing a system of linear inequalities by hand. The tool that I'd like to feature for you today that can create at least some similar experiences for students for free is ThatQuiz.org. ThatQuiz.org is a free web-based tool. Teachers can sign up and get a free teacher account. In my previous videos, I featured ways to create sample drag and drop questions as well as text entry questions. Today, featuring graphing, that functionality is already built into ThatQuiz. So you can actually have ThatQuiz generate a series of graphing prompts for you and just assign them to your classes. So I'm going to go over to this common tests menu, and you might have to expand and explore these menus a little bit, but under integers, there is a section called algebra. When you select algebra, ThatQuiz just defaults to a few things as far as specifically how many problems you would like. This level thing, you just have to kind of play around a little bit. As you change the level, you will notice that ThatQuiz changes the problems that it generates. So you can see how the changes might impact things and choose a level that's appropriate for you. Since I want students to practice graphing, I would like for them to practice graphing lines, let's say, and you can preview and see the problems that ThatQuiz is going to present to students. I'm going to do a combination here because I also want to feature graphing inequalities. So I'm going to go ahead and select this box as well. You can see ThatQuiz has just generated 5 specific problems because I asked it to. If you like what you see here, you can go ahead and assign that to a class. If you wish the problems were a little different, there is a regenerate button that you can select repeatedly until you see a selection that you like. It will automatically title your quiz. If you don't like what it titles the quiz, you can go ahead and override that now. I've just established a sample Yanka class. I'm going to go ahead and assign this quiz to, and then we can take a preview and see how this would look for students. Once you select the title of the quiz, you'll notice that there is a URL for a practice test. I'm going to go ahead and select that now so you can see what this would look like for students. So they're asked here to graph an inequality, and I didn't do systems this time. I'm pretty sure you can do that in ThatQuiz. But in this menu, it just gave me this option of graphing 1 linear inequality, so I'll start there. It doesn't ask for 2 points, but it does ask for 3. So this is a little bit different than the STAAR version where students have to click specifically the line and the shading separately. ThatQuiz kind of combines these skills together. You just have to have students choose the shading that would be appropriate for their inequality. So since I'm happy with this graph, I'll click OK. Here's another example. I'll just speed it up because I want to do all 5 of these so you can see how it scores at the end. So here's an example where they threw in just an equation. So same functionality here. Now that I've graphed all 5 of these prompts, when I click finish, I'll get a grade report of how I did. That's one thing that's really great about ThatQuiz when you establish classes and you assign quizzes to students. That quiz is completely self-scoring. So you'll get this information, students will get this information. Again, there's so much to unpack with that quiz. I'm just focusing these videos on the creation process of making questions specifically that look like what might be on a future STAAR. There are tutorials on ThatQuiz.org's website. I've also made a few other videos, so you're welcome to check those out as well. Here, my focus is just one problem type per video on a future STAAR. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful, and I hope you'll check out ThatQuiz.org, a wonderful, no bells and whistles, but free tool for teachers. Take care.